Man, I really hate to make a response video to Cartoon 53, but I did really get on YouTube all just to respond to Cartoon 53. So I think that it's only right. And I'm sorry for calling you Cartoon 53 because I know you, Brother Tony, and you done changed your life, gave it over to God. You know what I'm saying? But have you been spending so much time with white Jesus that you forgot why Africans is fucked up?
So when Europe started developing bombs and guns and ships, what stopped Africa? The Africans from developing bombs and guns and ships. So you mean to tell me a continent that is as old as Africa, so you mean to tell me these people just sitting around, sitting on their hands, walking around, and was content to play with spears and slings and rocks all the way up until the Europeans landed on their shores and started hitting them in the head and taking them back and taking them across seas? I don't understand that. I can't. I don't know
why Africa don't have no weapons. Cartoon, I'm not gonna sit here and scream at this camera. I'm not about to sit here and debate with you. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give you the facts. I want you to take these facts and give it back to your audience. I want you to let these facts dissolve into the atoms and the molecules of your brain. Every time you speak disparagingly on black folks, I'm going to respond. So just sit back, watch this video, and you can learn something, my brother, respectfully.
Brother Tony, you keep asking why Africa never built fleets and armies like Europe or America. You say Africa been here since before there was even a United States. And you're right. But you're looking at the picture sideways. Africa didn't fail to develop. Africa was developed first, then stripped, divided, and contained so it could never compete again. Let's start where civilization started. Egypt, Kush, Aksum, Mali, Songhai, Benin. Mathematics, medicine, engineering, astronomy, gold trade, written law. Europe was still freezing in mud huts, while Africans were mapping the stars and building stone that still stands. The shift came when Europe learned how to turn scarcity into greed. They had no gold, no spices, no land worth anything. So they learned to fight. Constant wars forced them to build navies, iron foundries, gunpowder mills, and governments that lived off conquest. Africa didn't live like that. The continent is huge, full of food, water, and trade routes. Kingdoms could thrive without killing their neighbors. You can't form an arms race when you don't need one. Europe's entire system came from fear and hunger. Africa's came from balance and abundance. That's not weakness. That's civilization before corruption. Then the world changed. Gunpowder moved from China through Arabia into Europe. Europe didn't invent it, they industrialized it. They built a whole economy around violence. When those ships started crossing seas, they didn't come to share knowledge. They came to monetize war. They sold guns to African traders in exchange for slaves, intentionally keeping Africa fighting itself. They made sure Africa had weapons but no factories, soldiers but no navy, ambition but no unity. Every bullet that came in took another scientist, farmer, and builder out. By the time Europe was mass-producing cannons, Africa's manpower had been ripped across the Atlantic. Europe didn't advance because of genius. They advanced because of African labor, African gold, and African blood. They industrialized slavery before they industrialized industry. And every time Africa started climbing back, they broke the ladder. Menelik II built factories and railroads. Europe blocked him. Lumumba tried to nationalize Congo's resources. The CIA had him killed. And Nkrumah talked African unity. They staged a coup. Sankara said, "We'll stand on our own feet." They murdered him too. Every generation that tried to make Africa self-reliant was removed by the same powers that preach freedom today. So when you ask why Africa didn't build guns and fleets, understand, it did when it was allowed to. Ethiopia fought off Italy. The Zulu Empire crushed the British at Isandlwana with spears. But Europe had centuries of industrial warfare, global trade networks, and propaganda making them look like civilization while painting Africa as savage. That's how you justify theft. You make your victim look uncivilized. Brother Tony, Africa never lacked intelligence. It lacked access because the access was stolen. Europe built ships to conquer. Africa built ships to trade. Europe built cannons to dominate. Africa built tools to live. One worshiped power, the other purpose. When the war machine met the peace builder, the war machine won, not because it was smarter, but because it had already decided the rest of the world would serve it. So stop saying Africa didn't develop. Africa taught the world everything it knows, and the world paid it back with chains. Egypt gave science, Mali gave wealth, Benin gave art, and Europe gave bullets. That's not progress. That's piracy. The truth is, Africa didn't fall behind. It was held down, colonized, drained, and reprogrammed. Even now, they keep it in debt, control its currency, and call that independence. But the soil still holds the same genius that built pyramids out of sand. That's your answer, Brother Tony. Africa didn't fail to build, it built everything first. Europe just burned the blueprints and wrote itself in as the architect.
Now, what I just laid out for you may be disputed by somebody. People dispute facts all the time. You know what I'm saying? People argue about facts all the time. So I just feel like I just leave that there, because at least if you don't feel like that is the end all be all answer to your question, then maybe, just maybe, that will spark your interest to do a little research on the situation. So that's my response. I hope that this will help somebody realize why Africans have not progressed at the same rate as other continents.
Me and my niggas play that good.